Hey, how's it going? Diamond here, and today we're going to be creating a survival server. However, this will not be with data packs because honestly it's really simple. If you guys want a video on that, I can do it real quick. However, we will be showcasing how to create one for your friends, and I have two separate ways for you to do this. You can create it with one. Let's say you don't trust people or you have a lot of friends that troll and you want to keep your areas protected. I will show you how to create that one, and the second half of the video will be showcasing how to create one for friends that you trust more. But now you may be like, wow, Diamond, this is such a trash video. We waited a week for this. Don't worry, I do have more additional content for this one video. Third of all, we're going to do a lot of performance. I'm going to showcase additional features that you can add to make it look great, and a lot of performance, and a lot of ways to make your server perform a lot better. This is super helpful, as you may think just adding a default vanilla jar is the way to go, but you'd be surprised how much lag you can actually get from that. So embark on this journey with me, and this video we're going to be creating a simple SMP for you and your friends. Again, if you guys want me to create an SMP for a network type server, how about we set a goal of 200 likes, and as soon as we get that, I'll start recording the next video for it. But other than that, let's get started with this video, shall we? Alright, let's get started. What I'm going to be doing here is doing everything on Revivenode, as it's a lot easier to start the process off, and of course with easier procedures as adding startup flags. And of course, you always know if you want to get a server for Revivenode, you can use the promo code Diamond for 15% off your very first server to get it lower than $1 a gigabyte, which is honestly amazing. So make sure to check them out in the description down below. Other than that, let's get started with this. What I'm going to do is firstly install our version. Most likely you're going to be installing 1.16 or 1.17, as they are the most recent versions. I understand some people still play on 1.16, that's fine, but I'm going to be doing it on 1.17. For this, I'm going to install Paper, and you can see I'm not installing Spigot or Vanilla, as because Vanilla has terrible performance. And I am saying that with a lot of attitude. Trust me, that's my attitude voice. However, Spigot doesn't make it any better either. It has very similar performance to Vanilla, as it's mainly just made to add plugins. That's where Paper comes around and actually does a lot. Now that we actually have it installed, you can see right here in our file manager, we actually have it installed just fine. And we're going to at least boot it up once so we can have the default files, so I can show you guys how to configure it to prevent a little bit of lag on your server. And overall, it might prevent a lot of lag, honestly. So we have the default files. Of course, remember, we're using Paper. That's something essential for this. And what I asked was for the team of Revivenode to go into my server and add up a startup flag, and I'll provide the link for the startup flag in the description down below if you want to. What that will do if we go into startup is have all of this. This will make sure that the jar doesn't use all of our RAM. We'll have better performance overall with rendering, and it just helps a ton. I can't even explain it all. The website explains it a lot better than I ever could. However, we have the default files. We're going to go into our server.properties, and the first thing we're going to do is enable whitelist. We want to keep that as true. No matter if you're just having a server for friends, keep it whitelisted. Anyone can really join your server. There's nothing really stopping them to. So keep it whitelist and add friends that you actually want to allow to join. This also stops a little bit of trolls. Next thing I would recommend is keeping it at 8 render distance. Normally a lot of people do. However, if you do intend to run higher, keep it at 12, keep it at 16. Really your choice. 8 is just really good for server performance. That's going to be the very basic of what we're going to do here. Next thing we're going to do is click Save Content. We'll go into our file manager, go into our plugins, and this is going to be the plugins we're going to be adding for just you and your friends and something you want to relax with. This is something essential that I actually found out very recent. It's called Whitelist Me. It's a simple process of you not having to whitelist all your friends. In game, you'll be able to run a command that will provide you a link, and in that link, you can send it to your friends and they'll whitelist themselves easily. Next thing we're going to do is add vanilla tweaks. This is what I was talking about if you watch till the end. This is going to enable features from vanilla tweaks without adding vanilla tweaks. The reason this is beneficial is because instead of running it through data packs, which will do checks every possible second they can, or every tick in this case, it will be running through a plugin that can identify when certain events happen, which does a lot better regarding performance for your server. Next thing, it's just a preference. You guys do not need to add this, but I recommend Shulker Box Preview. This allows you to see your Shulker boxes without having to put them down and opening them up, similar to a certain mod that's around right now. These are just 3 very simple things that you can add to make your server just a little bit more unique. Next thing we're going up with is going to be adding Chunky. The reason we're adding Chunky is we're going to determine a maximum about 8 8,000 by 8,000 world, or 10,000 by 10,000 if you want additional 2,000 world size. This will prevent a lot of lag because you're going to pre-generate every single thing within the world. This helps a ton as you won't be walking around and loading all the chunks. There are other ways. I have seen a similar YouTuber such as Zoomavoid have a script that he will be randomly teleporting, well, not randomly, but coordinately teleporting to every part of the world in a certain border radius and loading a lot of that in, preventing a ton of lag at the beginning, because every time a player loads a new chunk within the world, it causes a bit of lag. This is just going to help out a lot, and I'll explain more in depth later. To finish it off, we're going to be adding dynamic map. This will add a cool map that your friends can see all your builds and everything within a web browser. This is actually really cool because you can say, hey, look at this cool project I'm working on. We're going to be over here, and they can check it for the map even if they're not on the game. To finish it off, we're going to be adding Geyser and Floodgate. This will just give you the ability to, if you have any friends that don't have Minecraft on PC, they can still play with Pocket Edition, Bedrock Edition, whatever version they may have. And overall, these are some very default things that you could add. I could go a little bit more and make it a bit more unique, but I'm keeping it very simple. I'm not changing the core aspect of survival. I'm just making it so you and your friends can play pretty straightforward on the same exact day. All right, we reloaded our server. We have everything set up, and what we have here is the default files for everything. I'm going to do a super fast speed run of trying to set all of this up. We're going to go into File Manager. Actually, nope, sorry, my bad. We're going into Ports. We're going to make sure every single one of our ports are actually open. I'll leave this one over here for Geyser, and then here we'll do it for Dynamic Map. And I'll copy these over into a notepad I actually have on my other screen. This will allow me to not have to come back here and annoy you guys every single time with this page. But now we'll go into File Manager, we'll go into Plugins. Let's start off with Dynamic Map. We'll go into configuration.txt, and we'll scroll, Control F, do port, better yet, 8123, as I know that's the default. We'll find it right here, and we can replace that with 8108. We can come up here and put low res and click save. This will make it low resolution, so it loads a lot faster. We can go back into our file manager, go back into plugins, and next thing we'll do is Geyser. I'm not going to be doing a lot of configuration. I'm not going to make this look fancy or anything. What I'm just making sure is that it works. So we'll change the port right here as well. So we'll change that to 8, and we can change some basic stuff as well. So we'll do SMP. We can set up the name as well, SMP with friends. I'll put that in all caps so it's super annoying, and I'll just do SMP. Want it really simple. Scroll all the way down. I want some simple stuff disabled in this case. So show coordinates, I really hate it. Every single time I'm in Bedrock Edition, it's terrible. We can do the title as well, which is the slowdown, which is the cooldown whenever you hit something. So we can do title. Instead of that, I prefer action bar. I don't actually like it being in the middle of the screen. Next thing we'll go is scroll up until we find off type. We can change from that from online, and we're going to put in Floodgate. Click save, Control S, or click save content, your choice, and we are done setting up Bedrock. And it was really that simple. Overall, these are the main things that we actually need to set up here, and we can restart our server at least once, and we're basically close to done. Now, I did mention that if you guys want to prevent this from being hacked by friends, overall, if you want something to be able to revert back, just in case that something happens where a griefer somehow managed to get in, I really just recommend adding grief prevention. I'm not going to be adding it in this case, but it is a super straightforward process of just drag and drop the plugin into the folder. That's it. And this will allow you to add claims so you can protect your builds, and you can revert back certain things that happen within the world. So it's super nifty, and honestly, that's the best way to prevent your friends from griefing. Great. Now we have all this set up, we can actually enjoy the server. However, I'm sorry, there's one more thing that we need to do, and that is preload the world. Before we do preload the entire world, what we're going to do is whitelist, add, and then you're going to add your actual username. So in this case, I'll just put DiamondXR, and all right, we joined the world, and of course it's dark already, so that's not too much of a bother for me. And we have the basic of everything that we need within this world. We're going to do chunky. Can't catch a break, there's zombies trying to get me. All right, now that I've got zombies trying to constantly try to kill me, what I'm going to do is the following. /chunky, and we can do center and if we click center, this is going to be the center of our map. And then we can do radius, and we could set it by 8,000 by 8,000. This is the minimum we're going to be setting it for, and it will be plenty, as a lot of players don't require more than about 100 blocks each just to start building their own things. Now that we're actually done with that, we can do radius shape, and we're going to make it let's actually go for a circle here. It actually sounds cool. And now we have a circle that's going to be 8 by 8,000, and it's going to be a circle shape. Pretty nice. We got that set up. We can do chunky start, and what this is going to do is start rendering all of this out to basically everywhere out in the world. It's pretty straightforward like that. We're just not done yet. We can do, next command we can do is /dynamic and do full render. Well, sorry, dynamic map and full render, my bad. And like that, it's going to be rendering out this amazing world that we have, and it's pretty straightforward like that. For this, all we have to do is copy our IP, paste it in our browser, and we're going into our network, go into ports, and here we can copy the port. It's going to be 8108, click enter, and as you can see right here, we're loading in all of this world, and this is going to be something that all of our friends are going to be able to explore and build on. It might take a bit, honestly, it might take up to an hour to preload all of this, but overall it's great because you can see your friends building everything and where they are located in the world. You don't always have to be on their back and try to figure it out. Again, don't be that one guy that always tries to find their friends and just annoy them. Please don't be that guy. You can change a lot of the settings as well, such as you don't have to show the username or hearts or food. It's all in the settings. And now for vanilla tweaks, it's really simple. Whatever you want to add or remove, you can add it right here under config within the actual file manager in the plugins and vanilla tweaks folder, and go into config.yml. Here, you're going to find every setting that you would want or not to have from vanilla tweaks. By default, they're mainly off, and you can enable what you actually want. So you have the AFK display, multiplayer sleep. However, this is a feature within Minecraft itself, if you wanted to know that. We have the graves, the custom nether portals, and it even has a description: ignite nether portals with any size or shape you like. That's actually really cool. I want to try that out. Durability ping, which I actually find very nice. Cauldron concrete and track raw statistics, track statistics, nether portal coordinates, cord hub, and honestly, Jesus Christ, there is a lot. I don't think I can actually do that in one video. Again, this is very straightforward. We can get all this set up in a single day, under an hour, and you can start enjoying your server with your friends. And Jesus Christ, it is loading a lot of stuff. If you're checking your RAM and you're seeing that it's very high, don't worry. That's just because if Chunky is still rendering all of this, it's going to take a lot of RAM. That is very normal. Your server may crash once depending how much you have. If you don't have a lot, for this example, I have 4 gigabytes and it's using a lot. It might crash once, but you won't lose any data. Just make sure your friends aren't playing at the same time that you're doing Chunky. But as you can see right there, it is not difficult to set up a SMP for your friends with some very simple things that can actually make your Minecraft experience just a little bit better, and overall with less lag. Again, if you guys want me to show you how to make one exactly for a network type, I'll definitely make it a lot more configurable, and I'll probably even leave a download for that one if you guys want it. So let's see if we can reach that 200 like goal. Other than that, make sure to check out Revivenode description down below. I'm Diamond, and I'll check